Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our 2026 Instructional Staff webinar. I'm going to allow everyone to get inside of our session today. So I'm going to just take a couple of minutes and let everyone continue to join us. While we are waiting, if you're already here, if you could just please drop your name. If you're a new or returning teacher with our program, please share that in the chat for us. So we are just asking for you to share your name. If you're new or returning to our program, you can just drop that in the chat. And if you have been with us before, how many years have you participated? So super excited to see new, a lot of new to the program. Thank you. A lot of returners as well. So super excited for the information that we'll have to share with you all today and this afternoon. And we're going to get started here in the next minute. I think we have quite a few other individuals joining us. Super excited to see some familiar names. Thank you for coming back. Lots of new teachers as well. All right, third summer. Awesome. We're excited also. We'll be going into year 6 of this program. So, a lot of things we have learned, and a lot of things that we are going to share with you all this evening on what expectations are for our educators in this program and what you can expect from Indy Summer Learning Labs. If you're just joining us, we're just dropping our name. If you're new or if you're returning in the chat, and if you're returning, how many years have you been a part of the program? All right. We're going to go ahead and get started so we can make sure that we are utilizing our time within the frame that we have and have enough time at the end for questions from you all. So with that, we're going to get started with our norms for this session. So again, hello and thank you everyone for coming out and joining us this evening for our 2026 Instructional Staff webinar. We're going to go through our norms. Our norms are for us to be able to get through this session together, be able to answer your questions by the end of our time together, and then also have the opportunity for questions and answers. So again, using our chat feature for introductions only, so that just sharing your name, if you're part of the program before, how many years, or if you're new. We also want to make sure if you have any questions throughout our time together, there will be a lot of information shared that you use the Q&A icon to ask those questions. We'll try to answer them throughout the time, but then we'll make sure at the end of our time together, we spend enough time to allocate for questions. And then lastly, during the Q&A at the end of our time together, please use the raise hand option if you prefer to come off of mute and ask your question out loud. We would love to hear your voice and any questions that you have. Those will be our norms for this session. So again, welcome to our Indy Summer Learning Labs Instructional Staff webinar. We are going to be going into year 6 of this program, and today we want to make sure we cover with you introductions for our team. You're dropping your introductions in the chat now. If you haven't already, please drop your name if you participated in this program before or if you're new. We're also going to do an ISLL at a glance for our 2021 to 2025 programming years, and we're just going to take a brief look at how much ISLL has grown and evolved over the past 5 years now and highlighting key milestones and achievements. Then we're going to go into our student academic outcomes. We're going to share our 2025 academic impact ISLL has had on students. We're going to emphasize the data-driven outcomes and what drew our success for that summer. And then we're going to go into training and program details. This is going to discuss what are the new details for this upcoming summer? What are expectations that you all need to be aware of as far as ISLL 2026? Lastly, we'll give you an overview of what the application will look like that will actually open up tomorrow for you to be able to apply for the roles that are shared today. And then we'll spend and give time for Q&A at the end of our time together. So, with introductions, I'm Jasmine Sanders. I'm the Senior Director of Innovative Learning at the Mind Trust, and I have the great opportunity to be able to lead Indy Summer Learning Labs for my second year, but I've been with the program for 4 years. So, super excited. We continue to grow the experience for everyone that is involved, and then also with our team. So, I'm going to pass it off to Amaya Springer now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amaya Springer. I'm the manager of school supports and summer programming here at the Mind Trust. This will be my second time with Indy Summer Learning Labs, so I focus more on the teacher placement process as well as creating other procedures and processes to make the program run well for teachers and also Teacher Training Week. And I'll pass it over to Dr. Ricky.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Ricky Ganeshaw. I am the operations manager for the Indy Summer Learning Lab. My primary responsibility is managing the budget and finance side of the operations and the summer learning labs, and pretty much lending my hand and expertise anywhere else I can across the board throughout the entire program. Nice to meet you all.
Thanks, team. Throughout our time together, you'll hear from myself, you'll hear from Amaya. You won't hear from Ricky as much, but maybe at the end for Q&A, he might jump in and answer some of those questions. But if you are selected to be a part of our program this summer, you will see all three of us out in the locations visiting from time to time and meeting with site partners or with yourselves. We're going to move into our time together. So, since 2021, ISLL has grown to be this transformative summer program. We were originally focused on learning loss, and now we have started accelerating student growth while offering enrichment opportunities for students. So, over the past 5 years, we've engaged thousands of students each summer. We started fully virtual in 2021 and we gradually transitioned to fully in-person learning. So now from since 2023 onward, we have been fully in-person learning and we've partnered with schools and community organizations to host over 30 learning sites, growing every year. And we deliver measurable academic gains in both ELA and math throughout instruction and our assessments. We'll talk a lot more about the assessments later on during our time together. Accessibility has also been something that has been central to our work. We want to ensure that all of our students, regardless of their background, can benefit from high quality summer learning experiences. So in 2025, we were able to expand our programming to 55 learning sites, serving 5,300 students in grades 1 through 9 with an average attendance rate of 67%. This upcoming year, we hope to increase that. The total number of learning slabs will be increased for this upcoming summer, and the number of students will still maintain around 5,500 students. So super excited for that. But these results highlight the dedication and collaboration of our team, but not only our team, our site partners, and you all make this all possible for the impact that we have on students across Marion County. And so for the fifth consecutive year, ISLL delivered double-digit learning gains. We had students achieving 27% growth in both ELA and math. These results come from our pre and post assessments that are provided by the Lavinia Group. And the gains in our 2025 program surpassed those that we saw in 2024. So this continues to show our continued impact on student achievement with the students across Marion County. Of our 5,300 students that were enrolled, approximately 85% of those students identified as students of color, and 69% of those students qualified for free or reduced lunch. And most of our summer learning lab sites are free and with a few of them charging a fee that's related to extended childcare or some extended weeks. But by combining both accessibility with high quality instruction and enrichment, our program continues to meet the diverse needs of students and families across Marion County, which is one of our main goals of this program.
All right. If you have not already done so, please mark your calendars for an incredible summer of learning and growth. Indy Summer Learning Labs will run from June 15th to July 17th. Teacher Training Week will occur the week of June 8th through the 12th. Later in the session, I'll provide a breakdown of the Teacher Training Week schedule. In addition, there will be no programming on June 19th and July 3rd, but these days will be paid for all instructional staff. This summer, students will once again have the opportunity to engage in high-quality academic programming, enrichment activities, and meaningful experiences designed to inspire curiosity, build confidence, and foster achievement. As we navigate through the upcoming slides, you may find yourself with questions or thoughts. Feel free to share them using the Q&A icon, and our team will be ready to address them. While we will have dedicated time for questions at the end, we wanted to extend this early reminder, encouraging you to engage and make the most of this session. All right. In the 2026 Indy Summer Learning Labs program, it must run for a full day with a minimum of 6 hours beginning at 8 a.m. for students each day. This is a sample schedule, but Lavinia curriculum must be implemented during the morning block as instructional staff are dismissed at noon. Mornings are dedicated to academic instruction in ELA and math, led by staff trained in the Lavinia group curriculum. Lunch and recess follow, and afternoons are reserved for enrichment activities, which may include arts, STEM, sports, field trips, or community service. This calendar starts with Teacher Training Week, which is again June 8th through the 12th, and programming from June 15th through July 17th. We observe holidays on June 19th for Juneteenth and July 3rd for Independence Day. Pre- and post assessments are administered at the start and end of the program. To guarantee the success of Indy Summer Learning Labs, our staffing model is designed to provide strong leadership, support, and collaboration across all roles. Here's an overview of the key positions. If you are returning, this is the same model that was in place last year with a few points of clarity in place. Academic deans, also known as ADs, play a role in the facilitation and administrative oversight of their assigned cohort of summer learning labs. ADs are responsible for managing program delivery, ensuring high-quality instruction, monitoring student progress, and holding accountability meetings with site leaders. This role is not a part of this application process, but it is critical to our staffing model. Next, we have supervising teachers, ELA math teachers, and classroom assistants. I will go in more in depth for each of these roles on the next slides. This staffing model emphasizes collaboration, leadership, and personalized attention to support the diverse needs of our students. All instructional staff are certified staff, retired, or on a path to receive certification, and all instructional staff will be selected and hired internally by the Indy Summer Learning Lab program team. First, we have supervising teachers who will oversee the implementation of the curriculum, provide guidance and support to teachers and staff, and ensure that all students have a positive, engaging learning experience. Some of their key responsibilities include leadership and support, so they'll provide daily guidance to teachers and classroom assistants, ensuring high-quality instruction and academic rigor are maintained. Substitute support. They will be first to step in as a substitute when a teacher is absent, ensuring the continuity of programming and a safe environment. Data and attendance monitoring. They will oversee the monitoring of student assessment data and daily attendance to ensure accurate records are maintained. They will also provide one-on-one instructional support as necessary, ensuring all students' needs are met. Lastly, collaboration. They will work closely with the academic dean assigned to their site and site leader to ensure quality implementation of instruction, consistent attendance tracking, and effective communication with families. Supervising teachers will be compensated at a rate of $55 an hour for 1 week of teacher training and 5 weeks of programming. The ELA and math teacher will deliver high-quality instruction to students, fostering a positive and safe learning environment and ensuring students meet academic goals during the summer programming. Their key responsibilities include lead instruction, so they will lead 1 to 2 grade levels of at least 10 students in ELA or math, depending on your certified content area, and implement the Lavinia curriculum effectively. They will build connections with students throughout the 5-week program, fostering their social and academic development. They will also be responsible for entering daily student attendance by 10 a.m. and accurately grading and inputting pre- and post-assessment data. Lastly, they will work closely with classroom assistants, providing guidance and support to ensure academic rigor and student success. ELA and math teachers will be compensated at a rate of $50 per hour for 1 week of teacher training and 5 weeks of programming. The classroom assistant will support the lead teachers in delivering high-quality instruction, maintaining a safe and positive classroom environment, and providing individualized support to students during the summer program. Their key responsibilities include supporting across grade levels. They will assist across grade levels for both ELA and math, providing support in various areas as directed by the lead teacher. They'll assist in the preparation and execution of ELA and math lessons using the scripted Lavinia curriculum as directed by the lead teacher. They will build connections with students and help support their academic and social development during the 5-week program. Classroom assistants are also responsible for fostering a positive, safe, and joyful classroom environment for students and supporting their learning and well-being. They will work closely with the lead teacher to guide and assist with classroom activities, ensuring that lessons are carried out effectively. Lastly, their substitute role. They will serve as a substitute in the event that the lead teacher is absent for the day. The compensation for a classroom assistant is $25 an hour for 1 week of teacher training and 5 weeks of programming. Programming dates. The time commitment for Indy Summer Learning Labs will be 1 week of teacher training from June 8th to the 12th. This includes your welcome meeting at your assigned location and 5 weeks of student programming from June 15th to July 18th, operating Monday through Friday with expected on-site hours from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. All staff must commit to the full 5 weeks of programming to ensure consistency for students. Indy Summer Learning Labs serves students entering grades 1 through 9. Each class this year should include at least 10 students per grade level, and we have adjusted the student-to-teacher ratio to 20 students per 1 teacher. If the ratio exceeds the 20-student sphere, there will be designated support or split classrooms. All ELA teachers will receive teacher copies of the grade level literacy books aligned to the Lavinia curriculum. These books are designed to support lesson planning, instructional delivery, and alignment with pacing guide. So there was a lot of feedback that we received last year regarding teacher pickup. So this year, sites will be responsible for picking up the ELA literacy books for all grade level teachers at their sites. In previous years, teachers received their book copies before teacher training week by picking up their books at the Mind Trust. However, with this new updated pickup process, you will now receive your copies at your site welcome date or when programming begins. If you would like to access the materials earlier, you can do so through the Lavinia platform. But at the end of the program, ELA teachers are responsible for turning in their literacy books to their academic deans. All instructional staff will have access to the Lavinia platform, where they can review pacing guides and other key curriculum materials to help implement the curriculum effectively. All selected staff will receive access before teacher training week. This platform is a tool to ensure alignment and consistency across all sites in reference to the curriculum. Lavinia has made updates to the platform based on feedback provided last year to ensure a more user-friendly experience. This year, instead of requiring teachers to pick up additional handouts during teacher training week, all printed student materials will now be delivered directly to your site. So this is another feedback that you guys gave us from last year. Sites will be responsible for organizing and distributing these materials to each classroom. These materials include ELA and math handouts, phonics cards, and pre- and post-assessments. The number of materials provided will be aligned with each site's enrollment goals. And now I will pass it over to Jasmine for attendance.
So first of all, thank you for dropping your questions in the Q&A. If we keep them in the Q&A, we're able to respond in real time and also answer those during our time together at the end. This session will always also be recorded. So everything that we're sharing, you'll be able to watch it back and write down any notes that you want to take away from our time together. So with attendance, we want to make sure that attendance for our instructional staff is just as important as we're sharing that attendance is for our students within our program. And so with that, we understand that things may come up, and if they do, we want to make sure that there is a very streamlined process for you to complete in the event that you're not able to attend a day. So there is going to be a absence form that teachers will need to complete, communicate with their dean and the program team amongst any absences that will occur. It's important to note that any absences, either unexcused or excused, will not be compensated, and compensation is only provided for the days that are present in our program. The goal of this is to maintain a consistent and positive learning environment for our students, and attendance directly impacts that effort. So we want to make sure that we have a coverage process in place for all of our teachers in the event that you have to be absent. And for that, our coverage policy is as follows. If you're absent as an ELA or a math teacher, our supervising teacher will be our primary substitute and the first option for our classroom coverage. If the supervising teacher is unavailable, then the classroom assistant will step in. In the event that there is a site that has more than one classroom assistant, your dean will communicate which classroom assistant will cover that classroom for the day, and we'll kind of move down that chain. In the cases where both our supervising teacher and our classroom assistants are unavailable, the academic dean will cover the classroom, and we will make sure that they are completely aware of what the processes are that are in place, and they will also be present during our teacher training week as well. This system is in place to make sure that all of our classrooms continue to operate smoothly, even if someone needs to be absent. In the event that a lead teacher has left the program permanently, the ISLL program team will work to replace that teacher as soon as possible. So both the supervising teacher and the classroom assistant can fulfill their assigned role duties. And last year, we had questions about a potential pay increase for classroom assistants when serving as substitutes. There will be no additional increase in pay for subbing as substitutes. When you actually sign your contract with Morales and when you even apply, you'll kind of see what the responsibilities are of your role, and you're agreeing to those responsibilities before you're moving forward and accepting your position for whichever role that you do apply for. So all instructional compensation will remain the same for the role that you are hired for when you sign that contract. And so I want to take some time to talk through our data flow. So all of our enrollment data will be coming through our new system this year, which is Avela. All of our student data must begin with enrollment. So that's where we're collecting their site preference, our grade levels that students are entering in the following school year. And in the case of our curriculum, it's rising grade levels, all of our student demographic information as well. It's all collected during student enrollment. I want to make sure that our educators are aware of what our flow looks like. So when you have questions related to your attendance process or your assessment platform, you can refer back to this slide. So everything must start with enrollment. From there, our partner Simplicity Education will then take our exports from enrollment to create the site-specific attendance trackers. Those attendance trackers are based off of the students that have been enrolled in the program thus far. After students are in the attendance tracker, by June 26th, this is the day that we're asking that all educators input their scores into the assessment platform. Your roster should be up to date and current by this date in the assessment platform by our partner, Simplicity Education, for you to enter their scores. This is also coming from feedback that you all provided to us last year on making sure that the rosters are up to date and current after any enrollment changes. And so the best way for us to be able to do that is to have one designated date where we're saying this is the date that all pre-assessments need to be entered into the system, and where your rosters on that assessment platform link it will be updated. Again, Simplicity Education will make sure that we have a seamless flow of all attendance information for our students on those attendance trackers. All teachers, ELA and math, will be responsible for taking daily attendance by 10 a.m. Again, in the event that the lead teacher is absent, the supervising teacher or their classroom assistant will ensure that attendance is taken for that day. And there will be training that is provided by Simplicity Education on the attendance tracker process. This will occur during our teacher training week that will be happening June 8th through June 12th of this summer. Once again, we are super excited to continue our partnership with Lavinia Rise curriculum. We'll be covering ELA and math in the morning for rising first through ninth graders. So our responsibility is only the morning session. So from 8 a.m. to noon, that is when you're on site and you're covering this material starting at 8:30. Our Rise curriculum again aligns with state standards and the science of reading, ensuring that we have a rigorous yet accessible learning experience for all of our students involved. Our pre and post assessments are used to measure our students' growth from the start to the end of our program. Professional development will be offered to our educators and leaders. Your time will occur during June 8th through the 12th, and then leaders will get some professional development on the curriculum as well. And throughout programming, there will be an opportunity for teachers to attend office hours from the Lavinia Group's team if they have some questions that they want to ask, how to better support students. Their team is going to be there for you throughout the duration of the summer. And then Lavinia has made a few curriculum updates. This was based off of last year's feedback. So grades 3 students will now receive individual literacy books. So in the past couple of years, grade 3 students did not actually need copies of the physical books. This year, they will need copies of the physical books. Each student will have those in their hands. And then also grades 4 through 9 will continue to have their own copies as well. Linkit will continue to be our assessment platform provider. And our breakdown of how the curriculum is structured is that there are 90 minutes of literacy curriculum. This is focused on systematic lessons that are designed to strengthen our foundational reading and comprehension skills. And then there's going to be 75 minutes of math instruction. This is where you're engaging students in standards aligned activities that are building their confidence and their proficiency in math. The last thing I want to note is that for this upcoming summer, for grades 3 through 5, Lavinia has made a shift in the literacy books that go along with that curriculum. So there will be a new set of literacy books for grades 3 through 5. And now moving into what are some key expectations for our instructional staff. Beyond ensuring that you are present for all days of programming and training to be compensated, we want to ensure that you are taking daily attendance for each student by 10 a.m. If the lead teacher is absent, again, our supervising teacher or our classroom assistant will take attendance. We want to also make sure you're administering pre and post assessments and inputting those scores into the assessment platform. Next, surveys. We want to make sure that you're completing the instructional staff survey that we share with you to gain all of your feedback so we can continue to make the program better, but then also administering your student surveys to your classroom. These surveys this year will actually be built into our Linkit platform. So Linkit is where we collect all of our assessment information, our data. This year, the student surveys will be built into Linkit as well. So once you put in the assessment data, you can also input their survey data as well. And then curriculum implementation, that you're implementing the Lavinia Rise curriculum with fidelity. You're following the prescribed lessons and the structure and flow of what that implementation should look like. And then lastly, we want to make sure that all of our educators have a laptop to access the Lavinia curriculum for instruction, but then also so that you can take attendance for our students in the program.
Alrighty, now to teacher onboarding. All applicants are employed and compensated directly by Morales Group Prima Staffing. While Indy Summer Learning Labs will place employees at various site locations, Morales is the hiring company and assumes full responsibility for onboarding all instructional staff, managing employee wages, payroll, and other employment matters. They're also responsible for providing the app for submitting daily hours worked and giving access to your W-2 forms. If you are a returning teacher, W-2 should have already been sent to you via mail. If you have yet to receive them or have moved, please reach out to ISLL@moralesgroup.net. And we can also put that into the chat later on today. So similar to last year, there will be two onboarding processes. So new staff, if you are new to the program, you will need to complete the onboarding process in person with Morales Group. So this includes completing a national background check, submitting your I-9 documents, and providing banking information for payroll processing. So if you are selected, that specific location will be provided to you. Returning staff, if you are returning to the program within 2 years, you can complete the onboarding process virtually. If you do not fall within the 2-year time frame, you will need to follow the new staff onboarding process. More information regarding onboarding will be shared upon selection. Another new thing with teacher onboarding this year is that there will be a new timekeeping system implemented to document your daily hours. So for those of you who have been with us, Bullhorn was used in the past. However, there will be a new timekeeping system called Zenopal, as you can see their logo here on the slide. For instructional staff pay, teachers will be paid by Morales Group Staffing every Friday for the work completed, hours submitted, and time approved the previous week. The first paycheck shall arrive on the Friday following their first week of employment. In addition to onboarding requirements with Morales, some sites have individual requirements by the state, such as those listed on this slide. Those may include TB testing, drug screening, iLead, fingerprints, or background check. So your offer letter will indicate if your assigned site has additional requirements and will include a detailed list of those requirements. Site leaders will reach out to you directly with any additional onboarding requirements if you are selected for a specific site. Please be prepared to complete these additional steps required by the site you're assigned to. These additional requirements must be completed before the first week of programming, preferably by teacher training week. So now we're going to go into a little bit more information about our teacher training week schedule. Again, teacher training week runs Monday, June 8th through Friday, June 12th. On Monday, all new and returning instructional staff will complete an asynchronous training. So this will include an overview of teacher training week, resource review, and getting acquainted with the Lavinia platform. On Tuesday, new ELA instructional staff will attend in-person sessions focused specifically on the literacy component of the curriculum, while on Wednesday, new math instructional staff will attend in-person training focused on math component of the curriculum. Thursday brings all new and returning instructional staff together for in-person assessment training, as well as other workshops and lesson internalization and preparing for the programming. Finally, on Friday, staff will participate in site welcome meetings at your assigned site location. So this includes meeting site leaders and teachers at your site, a building tour, and any other final preparations for the program. Lastly, we're going to get into a sneak peek of the application process. Like last year, there will be 3 separate applications for each role and clarified what we are asking to ensure a timely and efficient vetting and placement process for all. The application for each role will include the following components: contact information. This information is essential for ensuring we have accurate contact details to reach out to you regarding your application status. It will also help speed up the onboarding process with Morales. The second component is grade level, content, and location information. So applicants will select their preferred grade levels or content areas, list any previous involvement or experience you have with ISLL, and also your site preferences. This year, we have a new video component, which is a 1-minute video response. In the next few slides, I'll talk more about that. Then we have our open response questions. So these questions allow applicants to provide additional insight or qualifications, and there are some scenario-based questions as well. Lastly, it will be documentation and additional certifications. So we'll go into your required documents and any additional certifications that you would like to list. This application is specifically for staffing community-based organizations for the roles of supervising teachers, ELA and math teachers, and classroom assistants. So if you happen to work at a school who may be doing Indy Summer Learning Labs, you will want to get with that administration for that teacher hiring process. So this year, instead of using Google Forms, we've moved to a new application platform called JotForm. This allows us to collect more accurate and complete data in a seamless way. One major improvement is conditional logic. So that means the application adapts based on responses. For example, if a question includes a yes or no option, applicants will only see follow-up questions if they apply to them. This helps eliminate unnecessary questions and creates a smoother experience. The platform also includes built-in Loom video integration. As a part of the application, candidates will submit a 1-minute video answering 2 questions. You do not need to have a Loom account in order to submit a video. To keep submissions clean and accessible, we ask that you don't go over 5 recording attempts or you will be asked to create an account. Clear instructions will be provided directly within the application. Overall, this improves efficiency for our team while making the application process more user-friendly. Next, I'll show you a recording of how to ensure your browser is set to access your camera and microphone and what the Loom recording will look like. You're going to want to go to your browser settings. Let me turn up the volume. Okay. If you're not using Chrome, it may look a little different. You're going to want to. You may want to turn up your volume some. Let me see if I can turn it up on here. Oh, it wasn't turned up. Okay, here we go. Things with technology. Go to your browser settings. If you're not using Chrome, it may look a little different, but this is Chrome, so you'll go to settings, then privacy and security, and then you'll go to site settings. From here, you will go to camera, and you will make sure it's on sites can ask to use your camera. You're going to press the back arrow, and then you're going to go to microphone, and also make sure sites can ask to use your microphone. And depending on how your browser settings are set up, when you click on the Loom video, it may just ask you to allow Loom to use your camera and microphone, so you would just click that as well. Next, we're going to go to the recording, so you're going to hit record. And then if you look to the right of the screen, you'll have video settings. You want to make sure you have that on camera only. And then recording settings, it will be on FaceTime HD camera. That's the only settings there is for that. And then for the microphone, mine says MacBook because that's what I'm using. But make sure whatever you're using, it is on default settings. Then you are going to start recording. And there will be a 3-second countdown. So on mine, you will see that it starts from 0. However, that is only because it is on the test one. When you actually complete your application, it will start from 5 minutes, and you're going to want to go down to 4 minutes. So you will submit a 1-minute video. Anything outside of that will not be recorded. And then once you're done, you'll press stop. And then you'll see options that you can insert video. So if you're satisfied with your video, you can do that. You can also play it back. I'm not going to play it back here because it's going to distort the sound on this video. Or you can go to the back button to restart recording, and then it'll take you back to restart recording. Or you can also delete it as well. So I'll just press insert, and that is how it will look. And then you will continue on with your application once you're satisfied with that. So then you'll click next, and it will go to the next section of the application. Alrighty, let me go back to the back screen. Okay. The video may have sounded a little quieter, so if you need to go back and look at the recording that we put on the website, feel free to do so. But before you begin the application, you'll see a reminder to update your browser in the beginning paragraph description, which will appear again right before the video recording. We strongly recommend that you save your application before starting the recording to ensure your progress isn't lost if your browser does update and your tabs close unexpectedly. So on the next slide, I'm just going to show you an example of what a Loom pop-up may look like. So here you can see that when I did it through a different browser, it had a pop-up, and you'll just put allow this time, or you can just select allow while visiting the site. All right. Again, there will be 3 separate applications for instructional staff. So for supervising teachers, you must submit a resume, a current CPR/AAD certification, a teaching license, and 1 letter of recommendation. This letter of recommendation must be specific to the supervising teacher role. For your ELA and math teachers, you must submit a resume, your current CPR certification and teaching license certification. And then classroom assistants, you must submit a resume as well, a CPR certification, and a letter of recommendation. So this is for college students who are studying education in undergrad. And just a reminder, all of these documents must be submitted in PDF format. You'll receive reminders for that as well on the application. All CPR certifications must remain valid for the full duration of summer programming from June 15th to July 17th. So all the days that you'll be around students, your CPR certification has to be valid for that whole entire period. If you wish to apply for more than 1 role, please submit a separate application for each position. We expect to receive well over 600 applications, so this is a very competitive application process. We get a lot of applications each year. However, we are only able to place about half of those applications. To ensure your application is considered, you must submit all required documents at the time of submission. Again, you must submit all required documents at the time of submission, whether you are a new or returning applicant. It's best to submit your application as soon as possible. While we will review applications on a rolling basis, you will not begin hearing from our team until March with placement offers. Please note that staff placements are contingent upon the enrollment numbers provided by each site as well. This year we wanted to share some CPR certification resources. We know this is always a question that teachers have. So if you are looking to become CPR certified, Creative Minds Healthcare is an excellent resource. They offer individual trainings including AHA, American Heart Association, CPR, AED for $55 per participant. In this course, you must show verification of a valid teacher license, ASHI, American Safety and Health Institute. They offer CPR and AED for $65 per person, as well as first aid for $75 per participant. For those of you that are interested in group or enrichment sessions, they offer structured program rates based on session length, group size, and program type with a maximum capacity of 12 participants per session. So if you know any teachers who may be interested in applying and they need to get their CPR certification, you can reach out to them to have a group training done. So the pricing as far as that will be shared once the group size is determined. And when you're registering for either individual or group sessions, please be sure to indicate that you are applying for an Indy Summer Learning Lab teaching position, so sessions can be assigned appropriately. Tiana Mumford's website and contact information are listed on the slides below. All right, so tomorrow all instructional staff applications will open at 9 a.m. Teacher placement will be ongoing from March to early May until all initial placements have been completed. Teachers may begin being onboarded as early March and throughout May to be onboarded before Teacher Training Week. Student enrollment will open in March and end in June. And then Teacher Training Week will be the second week of June, from June 8th to the 12th. Again, programming will be from June 15th to July 17th. This webinar will be recorded and posted to our website. So if you know someone who was unable to attend, or you would like to go back and reference any information, you will have the opportunity to do so. All right, now is that time. We want to thank you so much for joining us this evening.